Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Bol. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupan Gauri Guruvarg ki jai, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachirandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ji ki jai, Radha Raman Sarkar ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. No, I didn't push start. I hope not.
Just 15 minutes.
No, you just started it, right?
I just pushed.
Okay. Mangalacharan, page 1. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalam, Shri Yuta Padakamalam. And also within the Gaudiya Kirtan app. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalam, Shri Guru Vaisnava, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahamano, Raghunatham Vikantam Sajivam, Sadvetam Samabhutam, Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahamana, Lalita Shri Vishakam Vivamshra, Om Jnanitimirandhasya Jnanam Jadashalakaya, Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine, Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Avtarya Madhurya Gunashtra Yuktam, Param Yarinyam Purusham Mahantam, Narayanam Tvam Shirasha Namami, Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha, Shri Krishna Padajunitaika Hritti, Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasaram, Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye, Namaham Vishnupadaya, Krishna Presthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshadarine, Namaham Vishnupadaya, Gaurapresthaya Bhutale, Shri Srimad Bhakti Prajnan Jeshava Niti Namine, Ativadhyacharitraya Swashritanam Chaparine, Jivanmukhe Sadartaya Shri Rama Premadayine, Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Niti Namine, Shri Varshabhagavi Devi Daitaya Krimabhaye, Krishna Sam सत्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे तदङ्गुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय पुष्पानुगम्बराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णवः सर्वभौमः श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो ममन्नं मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमालो श्रीमद्रत्नाकारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेव पृष्ठानिभिः सेव्यमानः स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भि पक्षिवद्दत्ततस्थितः कृष्णं वेणुस्वरगोपीनाथश्रीस्तुनः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दमुनिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मसपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम् हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलम् हरो नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Is it in this? No, I mean, is it in the app? So Gurudev, Bodo Kripa Kori, starting with Gurudev, B-A-D-O, Kripa Kori. Page 33 in the small songbook.
जर सुख संगे अभ्यास होइलो मंदो निज कर्म दोषे हे देहो होइलो भजनेर गुरुदेव मोर कृपा करि मोरा मन माझे गुरुमे दियाछु स्थान वर्धते देखो पंचरोगे हत केमने भजिबो कांदिया कांदिया तुम्हारो चरणे कांदिया कांदिया तुम्हारो चरणे Oriachi Gurudeva Guru Kripa Kori Gauravono Majhe Gurume Diyachu Sthan Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
Sakala Vaishnava Doya Koro More Dante Trina Bhori Kohe Edino Pamare Sakala Vaishnava Kumulika and Gaur together.
Which one?
I'm just looking here. Either Gauranga Bolite Have or Dhan Morane Kya Hai. You should learn lead Gauranga Bolite Have. Page 86, Gauranga Bolite Have by Narottam Das Thakur, Gauranga. Gauranga.
I'm doing better.
It's a little bit. I'm just going to half an hour lower. Yeah.
Okay. Shri
Gopal Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Maybe we do that one for the first time.
It's up to you. I can.
Check the Hindi songs.
Huh?
Just gonna see if it's in the Hindi one. It's there. We've been requested to sing Sundara Lala Sachiri Dulala Nachata Shri Hari Kirtan Mein, page 361 in this book. Sundara Lala, Sundara. Sundara Lala Sachira Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan Shri Hari Kirtan Page 344, Jaya Jaya Sundarananda Kumar by Rupa Goswami, Jaya, Jaya. Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar, Jaya Jaya Sundara Jaya Jaya Sundara Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar Kalayati Nayanam, page 342. By Ramananda Rai, Kalayati Nayanam. Kalayati, K-A-L-A-Y-A-T-I, Kalayati Nayanam. Kalayati Nayanam, Dishi Dishi Varitam, Pankajami Vridu, Maruta Charitam.
temperature too high, the battery cannot be fully charged.
When it stopped working?
I think we just need to take the battery out.
Is it still working?
Haribol devotees, is it still working?
Hare Krishna.
We might be having technical difficulty.
The temperature is starting to crawl up in Vrindavan. Today is about 33 degrees, I think, or 34.
If anyone can just say it's still on, it would be great. Okay, it's on. Jayanti says it's on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ramananda too. It's working. It's working in Wales.
Thank you.
And England. And New Zealand and Italy. Okay, we're on.
Jai.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki
Jai.
Jai.
Can I just talk about Gurudeva and his bhajan?
Yes, will you come here?
I don't know if they'll be able to see me.
Yeah, they will. If you sit right here. Where's she from? You can tell. No, right there. Just right there. Really? Yes.
We were just singing this song, Kalayati Nayanam, and I was remembering because without the harmonium playing, it's really, really difficult to try to stay on tune and to sing. And usually you can just sing out and not think about it. And as we were singing, I was trying really hard. And it made me remember something. And it was many, many years ago when we were in Badger, California with our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja, in New Braj. We were there and he was speaking some Ramananda Samvad. And he had never asked me to sing in between his Hari Katha before, in between his speaking. Maybe before, maybe after, but not in between. But as he was speaking, I was looking through the songbook and I thought, oh, if he asks me to sing in the middle of his speaking, I'm going to sing this kirtan, even though I had never sung it in my life. So all of a sudden, Srila Gurudev stops and he said, oh, Sudevi, you should sing one nice bhajan. And I thought, oh my God, here's my chance. I had it on the page and everything. And I started to sing this, Kalayati Nayanam. It was so bad. It was so horrendous that my friends were kind of like touching me, saying like, it's okay. It's okay, and my friends were looking at me. They were patting me like, it's okay, just, get through it, get through it. And I was looking at my Gurudev and he had his eyes closed. And I was just thinking, my God, he's probably just trying to shut this out. And behind me, I could hear one Vaishnavi devotee. Her name is Manjari. And she can sing like an angel. She can paint. If you've seen the Venu Gita painting, she painted that. She sings like she paints. It's perfection. And she was singing it behind me perfectly. And I was hearing her, and then I heard my croaking of the frog. And I felt so embarrassed. And when I was done, I was sweating, I was red, I was horrified. And my friends were just kind of like, it's okay, no one will remember it. And so then Gurudev finished speaking after about a half an hour. And then they turned his Vyasa-san to the side because he was about to watch a drama. And I was just sitting there looking at him saying, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. And all of a sudden he just turned his head like this and went, like, come here. I thought, oh no. So I walked up to him and I said, yes, Gurudev. And he said, your kirtan? I said, yes. I thought he was going to say, don't do it again. But he said, if Lord Jagannath himself were here, he would have reached his arms out to embrace you. And what that taught me was that trying to please Sri Guru and Vaishnavas is so much more than trying to please our senses and the senses of others. I wanted to do something that would please him, and it was horrific. I'm sure someday it will be out. They're doing all of the videos. You will see it's honest. But he once said, never mind if your voice isn't so charming. Your heart should be charming. And while we were singing that, and I was trying to stay on tune, I was remembering that. And I was thinking about that. And that this is the point of doing these kirtans and these bhajans, trying to bring pleasure to the heart of our Gurudev, to our Guru Parampara, to Mahaprabhu, to Nityananda Prabhu. And then hopefully by the time we get to Hare Krishna, somehow or other by all of their combined mercy, Radha and Krishna will hear that Nam Kirtan. And so I wanted to share that with you because I know, like Jayanti sitting there in England with her little cymbals and sitting by her computer singing along, and I know some of these are so technical and they're so hard, and most of the time you'll hear Kishori Mohan Prabhu go, Sudevi, you want to sing this one? I'm like, no, not me. I want to do the easy one. I want to do Gauranga Bolite Have or something because it's too hard. But I wanted to say that my Gurudev, our Guru Maharaj, would say that trying is bhakti, and that we are all trying. We're sitting here doing kirtan together in quarantine all over the world, sitting down, chanting the holy names together, chanting to our Guru Varg, to Nityananda Prabhu, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that this no doubt will bring the mercy of Harinam Prabhu, Radha and Krishna. And that's what we are aspiring to when we are trying. That trying causes the hearts of our acharyas to melt, and their melted heart will touch us with the melted heart of mercy. And what is that? Krishna Kripa Shri Murti. Gurudev is the mercy of Krishna. So I just wanted to share that with you, that trying is so important. It may be difficult. It's so difficult for me. Once, my Guru Maharaj, this was when we lived in the Fiji Islands, and he had spoken something in the morning class on Bhagavatamrita. And in the afternoon, some new people came, and he said to me, you should repeat something that you heard in the morning class, in the morning lecture. And I said, oh, Gurudev, I can't, I'm too shy. And he said, no, you should try something, anything. And I said, Gurudev, I can't. And then I thought I would say something quite brilliant to him. I said, but Gurudev, anyway, we have all assembled here to hear you speak. And Gurudev looked at me and he said, yes, but sometimes the father likes to hear the baby say goo goo gaga. So that is the point to this, that goo goo gaga, crying out, trying to make some kind of words out of the bhavs, out of the prem, the love and affection of our acharyas, that will melt their heart because we are trying. Our Gurudev says this is bhakti.
Likewise, it's very difficult to sit in front of
Marmite jar.
a jar of Marmite.
Holding up the camera.
It's holding the camera in place. And I find myself sometimes looking at the jar of Marmite going, Hare Krishna. But to try is bhakti. And I'm hoping that somehow by our endeavor to do this seva, that Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas will be pleased, that all of you will be encouraged, and that Gurudev will somehow send more mercy to us, which we are desperately seeking. So now that we have had this beautiful meditation shared by Sudevi, it is time for us to enter into serving Harinam Prabhu. Our Gurudev said, I have never chanted anything. I serve Harinam Prabhu. I have never eaten anything. I serve Mahaprasad. And this is a very important point. We're not endeavoring to chant. We're endeavoring to please Krishna by calling out his names. That's why we do it. When we tell others about Krishna, we're doing it not to promote our ego or to promote how good we are at anything. We should do it to please Krishna. When we observe Ekadashi, when we do anything on the path of bhakti, bhakti means to do it with the intention of pleasing Krishna for his happiness, for his pleasure, and for his benefit. Then it can be considered bhakti. So, kirtanam, or calling out the names, glorifying the forms, the qualities, and pastimes of Krishna, is also part of bhakti, which means its function should be to please Krishna.
Jiva Pavana Prabhu says that the connection is going on and off. Is it better now, Jiva Pavana Prabhu? Is it still a bad connection? I'm not getting a message.
Maybe give me that and I can, we can connect it to yours. Should we just connect it to your connection?
It just comes off.
Give us 2 minutes.
Is the connection bad now? Or is it running smoothly? I think we just connection is perfect. Okay. Thank you. Okay, it's okay. They're saying it's okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavatamrita Guru Varga ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Raman Sarkar ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. How's the battery? Is it okay?
Can you check it?
How do you check the battery on this?
Never mind.
It ain't an iPhone.
We'll just plug it in.
It's full, so it's okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to plug it in?
No. It said it was too hot.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं नन्दयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of our beloved Gurudev's lotus feet. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashata Shishimaj Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same unto the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashata Shishimaj Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. To our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga and to all Vaisnavas, past, present and future, and all those who are watching on Facebook Live, my Dandavat Pranam. So there was a question. Before going beyond Vaikuntha, there was a question about seva, which came. We requested yesterday that once we posted that we would be continuing, that if anyone had any questions, they could ask. So Sudevi is going to read the question and I will pray to be able to answer it.
So Lalita Priya Didi is asking, how to be engaged in service more time. If, for example, like myself, I cannot do it, I don't have the adhikar to allow me to be like a pure devotee all 24 hours now. But we know that we must be purified and nishta and ruchi should come in this life. So the question is, maybe we need to pray about a society where it will be possible to be engaged in service as much as it needs for attaining ruchi, or how to do it.
That question is very pertinent for everyone at all times. How to be engaged in seva, and also how to develop attraction or attachment for seva. First thing is, seva means to serve, but serving means with the intention to please the object of your love and affection. At this point, for most persons, we don't know Mahaprabhu, we don't know Nityananda Prabhu or Radha and Krishna, but we have some relationship with a transcendental personality, the condensed form of the mercy of Krishna who is descended into our lives, that is Sri Guru. And Sri Guru gives general instructions and also personal instructions. Many times devotees want the personal, direct instruction before even following the general instruction. But our experiences, and we have seen also many times, that if one endeavors to follow the general instruction, what Gurudev tells from the Vyas Asana, for all disciples, you should do this. When any one disciple actually decides to take that up and try to follow that, then Guru will give more personal instructions. But how do we see that it is seva? Because really this is the crux of the matter. Sometimes we're doing a seva that we don't like to do, and it becomes almost begrudging, and then it's not feeling in our heart like it's seva. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he explains that the environment is always favorable, always friendly. It's a matter of our vision, how to see that environment. If we're looking at that environment as unfavorable, and we're seeing that I'm not able to do any seva in this situation. For example, at the time of someone's leaving this world, there's so many unfavorabilities that come, like mucus in the throat, choking, fear, and all sorts of other things which manifest at that time. Even passing stool and urine and vomiting and so many things. But all Shastra recommends that especially at that time, all of the activities that we're doing throughout our life are to help us to remember Krishna, to chant his names at that time. So that situation is not exactly favorable, but it can be a stimulus also for remembering Krishna. So in every situation we should try to try to find how this may be pleasing to Guru and Krishna. And externally it might not seem like that. For example, there are personalities known as gopis. So once upon a time, here's a situation. Once upon a time, Srimati Radhika was almost dying in separation from Krishna. And her maidservants were feeling, this is an emergency situation. Somehow we have to arrange for her to meet with Krishna. We cannot tolerate seeing her like this. So one maidservant named Rati Manjari, who we know in Sarak Roop here as Raghunath Das Goswami. What did she do? The entire night she massaged the feet of Jatila. Who is Jatila? She's that person who tries to find fault with Srimati Radhika every step of the way. I know you're unchaste. I know what you're doing. I know that you're sneaking. She had always tried to find fault and criticize. But in order to facilitate Srimati Radhika's meeting with Krishna, Rati Manjari stayed with Jatila and massaged her feet all night. Now, from an external perspective, you'd be like, what? She's the one who's against Srimati Radhika. Why are you massaging her feet? And all night. Don't you want to be there in the pastimes with Radha and Krishna? Enjoying that. But there she was, the whole night, massaging the feet of the person who's criticizing Srimati Radhika the most. For what purpose? Internally, this foot massage was only for the purpose of serving Radha and Krishna's meeting. So in any situation we might be in a situation that appears that it is unfavorable or we don't like it. But if internally we are making an endeavor to facilitate, to please our Guru, to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to serve Radha and Krishna, then that same activity that we might not like to do might become the source of the highest bliss. What are the gopis doing at home? They're at home. They cannot always run out into the forest in the middle of the night. Sometimes, but not always. But when they're massaging the feet of their husbands, are they thinking, I'm massaging the feet of my husband? No. They're thinking, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. They're thinking of Krishna. When they're taking care of little babies, they're not meditating on that. When they're cooking, when they're cleaning, when they're sweeping, no matter what they're doing at home, they're meditating on Krishna and seeing how to apply this in the service of Krishna. So no matter what situation they're in, they're able to search and seek for that situation which can be favorable for bhakti, For example, currently, right now in the world, we have a situation. It's a frightening situation or a concerning situation. There's a lot of confusion going around. What's going on? People are locked in their homes. They're told you cannot go outside. So we have a choice what to do with our time. We can be at home. Okay, well, I've got 3 weeks. Maybe I'll come out of this 3 weeks with bigger muscles. Or maybe I'll learn how to sing. Or maybe I'll learn how to sew. Or I'll do something. Or I can just sit in front of the television for 3 weeks. I can do so many things. Or I can dive into Shastra, taking shelter of Harinam, trying to do my Guru Seva and go more deeply into it. We have so many choices in the situation, which from an external material perspective seems to be terrible and terrifying. Like, don't go near anyone from 20 feet. You might catch something that's going to kill you in 3 weeks. It's terrifying. And then the other group is saying, don't believe that. And then you get more confused and you don't know what to believe anymore because everyone's telling different stories. But in spite of all of that, still, we can dive deeply into Seva and Krishna Bhakti. So how to go more deeply? It's a state of consciousness. It's a shift of consciousness from looking at everything around me as unfavorable to looking at everything around me that is as something that is favorable. Look at Kunti Devi. She was seeing that her luxurious life, that her high birth as a queen, that her bodily beauty, that her material wealth, all of these things that everyone is desperately struggling after in this material world, she was seeing it as unfavorable for bhakti. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, and Shri are a disqualification for bhakti. They make one proud and egotistical that I have this thing, so one cannot endeavor for bhakti. So she prayed to the Lord, please allow so many calamities to come again and again, because when these difficulties are coming in my life, I will be able to remember you. I will be able to have your darshan, and I will be able to serve you. So it's very interesting. The things that are considered positive might actually be actually negative. But still those negative things should bring us to thinking about Krishna. And even things that are actually negative, they should also bring us to thinking about Krishna. Prabhupada, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he coined the term from Shastra, but he coined the term, always remember Krishna and never forget him. That means not only should we remember, but we should also encourage others to remember, and then they will also encourage us to remember. So anything that we're doing, we might be stuck in an office somewhere, doing menial seva. Gopis are also stuck in their homes, doing menial seva. They're sweeping, and they're cooking on cow dung, and they're making cow dung patties, and they're going to the well and collecting water on their heads, and walking in the hot sun back to their homes, and massaging the feet of their husbands, and taking care of babies, and doing so many household duties. And we can look at it and think, this is not really favorable for seva. And yet, those persons are the persons who are the most glorified. Even Krishna himself says, I cannot repay them for their love. It's because of their state of consciousness. What did Srila Gurudev tell you in this connection? About, for the ladies? Yeah. Not really, but it's okay. It's a clear sound.
Before I tell what he said, what he asked me to say, I just wanted to acknowledge that you were first asking also about being in a society, and if that would help us to actually attain to these stages of ruchi, of shraddha. Wherever we are, like Kishori Mohan Prabhu said the environment is always friendly. This is what Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he says, if you're in a society, it could be that you get caught up in gossip. You get caught up in who's wearing what. You get caught up in all kinds of conspiracy theories, or you get caught up in being, the power figures, or there are so many things. There are even things about only the mothers are together, and only the gurukulis are together. There are all kinds of societies within societies that aren't actually favorable for bhakti. So, in some ways, yes, being in a society, of course, being with like-minded devotees, yes. But if we can't be, I remember we were living in the Fiji Islands, and it was 2.5 years. And I was there, and now people might think it's paradise, but when you're in your early 20s, and you're from California, and from Los Angeles, you've lived in a big society, and all of a sudden you're on an island and there's no one around for miles. It's total lockdown. I have no phone, no electricity, no running water. I have to go to a well to get water. I was suffering just sitting on this island. And the only thing that I could actually do to remain sane was to turn to my japamala and begin to chant and pray and cry to my Gurudev, help me. I'm in this situation, I've been banished. Like Kaliya. Kaliya went to Fiji. Srila Prabhupada said he went there, that's why there's no poisonous things there. I was banished to Fiji, the Fiji Islands, and what could I do there? I could only chant and pray, and I would take my songbook out and I would try to sing the ashtakams. I would try to read Chaitanya Charitamrita in Srimad Bhagavatam. I would read, I would chant, I would do anything to try to call the attention of help. Help me. I am stuck in the middle of this ocean. My husband was on the farm working with all of our workers on 300-acre farm that we were doing. And I was all alone. And really, that's how we are in this world. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the universe, a tiny speck jiva, so small, 1/10,000th of a tip of a hair, that small. And all we can really do is cry out. But that means that we must have some kind of urgency. So whatever we're doing, if we're singing, put something of our own heart into what we are singing. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is singing Amar Jivan. I'm happy at seeing the suffering of others. I'm not happy. I don't feel happy seeing other people suffer. But then again, what is gossiping? Gossiping is actually, even if you're seeing someone happy in the material world and gossiping about it, we're actually reveling in the suffering of the jivas trapped in this material world. I can find myself in these bhajans, and I can connect and I can call out something of my own heart there. Everything that we are doing on the path of bhakti should be done with some connection. That is why it is called bhakti yoga. Yoga means that we are connecting in devotion, in love and affection. And how do we do that? So one time, to answer what he asked me to speak, we both went into my Gurudev's room. We were in the Fiji Islands. And we went into my Gurudev's room, and I was like a baby going to their parent. And I said, Srila Gurudev, I want to do bhajan just like you. And Srila Gurudev said, oh, then you should know that my mood is that of the gopis, especially that of Srimati Radhika. And he began to glorify the gopis in their one-pointed mood toward Krishna. And as he was doing it, I was looking at him like, I don't get this. I wonder when he's going to tell me how to do bhajan. Not realizing he was telling me I was a baby, but he was trying to feed me something. And then he said, oh, some special concession has been made for ladies. I said, oh, I'm a lady. This is for me. Now it's time to talk about bhajan. He said, just by brooming, just by sweeping and cooking, you can attain to the mood of the gopis and melt the heart of Krishna. He said, when you are cooking, how many times a day do we cook? We eat, we do so many things. We have to clean, we have to do these things. So he said, when you are cooking, everything that you want to tell Krishna, every fear in your heart, every goal, every aspiration, everything you want him to know, you put that into the cooking and you tell him everything. He's not attracted to our cooking. He's got the cooking of Mother Yashoda. He's got the cooking of Srimati Radhika. He's got the milk of his cows. He doesn't need anything from us, and it's already his anyway. And the flavor of our cooking is something to be desired, isn't it? We don't even know if it will be good to another person. What to speak of Krishna? What he wants is to taste the moods in our hearts. So he said, everything you want to tell him, when you are cooking, when you are putting any spices in there, it should mean something. And when you offer it to Krishna, he will take it and he will taste all of the moods of your heart. And then he said, and if you have some anger, mood toward Krishna, if you have some anger, then you should put drop one pinch of chili. Then he will taste and say, oh, some man is there, some anger mood is there. What he was telling was that there should be some connection in everything that we do. It is not, as our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada would say, an artificial imposition on the mind or the heart. It's not something artificial that we have to walk around and say, I have to think of Krishna, I have to think of Krishna. But it should be a mood in the heart that I wonder if Krishna will like this. And then we offer with that mood, will you accept this? In Bhagavad Gita you say that you will accept water, a leaf, a flower, if it is given with love. I don't have love, but I have hope to love you. And I know that my Gurudev has love for you. So I'm offering it into the hands of my own Gurudev. And he will take that flower, that dal, that rice, whatever it is I'm offering. And in the name of my heart, Gurudev will offer it to Krishna on my behalf. And then the heart begins to soften. But sadhana is important. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur tells, if you read our Harmonist magazine, excellent magazine, twice a year they come out, and there's one, I don't know, just on the cover, it's Mother Yashoda holding Krishna. And there's an article called Sadhana from Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. And in there he's talking about why we must do sadhana. If we go and we circumambulate Tulsi, we go and we see the arti of the Lord, we take prasadam, we do a regular number of chanting of our japa. When we do these things, he says slowly it's building bhakti sukriti. It means spiritual merits of devotion. And as that bhakti sukriti is increasing, taste will also increase with that. Nishta, firm determination to continue. Shraddha, having faith that this is the process that my Guru and my Guru Prabhu have given. And this will help us to move forward with enthusiasm. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says that by following a daily sadhana, slowly our attention and our attraction will move spontaneously toward Krishna and automatically away from Maya, away from other things. What is it? Pratikulyasya, anukulyasya, sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjana. Well, this is like sharanagati, taking those things that are favorable, that will help induce some kind of mood in my heart. And if I can't find that mood, then I call out to my Gurudev, my Guru Varg. Hey Rupa, hey Sanatan, Hey Sri Jiva, hey Gopal Bhatta Goswami, hey help me, help me. Oh Gopal Bhatta Goswami, you have the power that Shalagram Shila, a stone, manifested into the form of Shyama Sundar Radha Raman Krishna. Please give your mercy to me. If you can melt that kind of a stone in the form of Krishna is manifested, what can your mercy do in my heart? So we call for mercy, we call for help. We are Badha Jivas, we are fallen. And we are all on different stages of the path of bhakti. Some are able to go forward and run and we watch them with awe and reverence. And some are going slowly and moving really slow and finding it hard. But they're continuing. They're not giving up. My Gurudev once said, if someone is always with me, or they are always in good association, they're always able to go to Mangalarti and they're always able to have Vaishnavas around them, then automatically it's a given. My mercy is there and with them. And then he said, but if any disciple is very far away, they're very far from me. They can only see me maybe once a year, if even that. But yet, they are endeavoring to pick up their mala and to chant. And they are calling out and trying to follow my order, to chant and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna. What to speak of my mercy being there? My heart completely melts and runs toward them. So I think generally all of us are in that category where we are all in deep separation from our Gurudevs, whether they are on the planet or not. Sometimes there's meeting and separation in the heart and outside. But yet, if we try to please and melt the hearts of our Gurudev, if we try, then this is bhakti. And if we can melt the heart of our Gurudev, then, because Krishna is dying to please his devotees, if Gurudev will petition on our behalf, if the Vaishnavas will petition on our behalf, what to speak of giving us good association, he will make it that we have to have that. He will petition. I was sitting in Fiji and I was dying without association, 2.5 years, and I began to chant and pray and cry. And all of a sudden one year Gurudev said, I want you to give up your farm. I want you to give up everything. Don't take 1 penny from it. We were about to pull a $500,000.
Millionaires.
We would have been millionaires. I was going to be rich. He said, I want you to leave that place. Don't take 1 penny with you. And I want you to travel and inspire on my behalf. I said, Gurudev, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. He said, what you know now. You know the holy name of Krishna. You know your Gurudev. You know Vrindavan. You know Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. You know about Srila Prabhupada. You know about mercy. Go and tell others. So we did it in our 20s. I mean, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they were doing it in their teens. They were devotees for 2 weeks. Srila Prabhupada would send them to South Africa. One devotee, his name is Jalakar Prabhu. When our Gurudev gave us the order to travel and preach together, I was so frightened. I couldn't do it. I kept saying, I can't do it. And he said, if you don't follow my order and travel and inspire on my behalf, you will lose your kirtan. Gurudev said this. And he said, but if you follow my order and travel and do kirtan on my behalf and inspire on my behalf, your kirtan will do everything. And then Kishori, he told us, now go and discuss what you will do.
Make your decision.
We walked out of the room. Kishori Mohan Prabhu said, we haven't attained kirtan. Golo Kera Premadana Hari Nam Sankirtan. We've never attained it. What a shame to lose it before we've ever even attained it. So we walked out and Jalakar Prabhu was standing there and he was laughing, and Prabhupada disciple. He said, so what did Gurudev tell you? And I was crying. He said, we have to travel and preach. And he said, oh, when any Vaishnava couple would get married, Srila Prabhupada would tell them, 1 and 1 makes 11. Now you are a very strong preaching team. And so he would send them out to preach. But then we realized it wasn't actually for us to preach. It was for us to gather inspiration. Everywhere we would go, the devotees would be inspiring us. So many devotees that I see watching online, Nandu, Ramananda, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, he's Prabhupada disciples, so much seva. So many devotees that have been doing this for so many years and still doing it today. And our Gurudev has given us this kind of association, and we see that even in quarantine, when it might be so unfavorable, we feel it's so incredibly favorable. We get to sit down and be with so many. Sometimes when we're in a country, we're only with those devotees in that country, 10, 20 people. And now we're with devotees in Wales and England and in Italy and New Zealand and everywhere, Los Angeles. We get to be with devotees all over the world and share the inspiration of our Gurudev. And that's because of you. That's because of you. If you weren't here engaging us in seva, he would be doing some kind of reading. He reads all day, and I would be sewing for Thakurji, and we'd be listening to kirtan and doing things, but we would not be sharing that inspiration. So our Gurudev gave us so much inspiration and association, and it may not be how I would have planned it. I would have planned it that I was living in a mansion with all kinds of maidservants, and I would have a big place, and I would host devotees.
She wanted to be queen number 16,109. Yes.
I used to think that I should become a queen in Dwarka. Gurudev fixed it. The point is what we think we need for our bhakti and our sadhana and our bhajan. We have no idea. Gurudev knows. Krishna knows. And Guru is Krishna manifesting in our lives to help us go forward. Where we are right now is perfect. Where we are right now is what we need to learn. Where we are struggling right now in our dedication to our Harinam, to our singing, to our chanting, to our associating, to our way of taking Mahaprasadam or cooking or cleaning or associating. If we are having difficulties in that, now is our place of sadhana. Now is the time, and it is perfect. And we are here because it is perfect. Nothing is wrong. Everything is as it should be. And from where we are right now, we need to search for the jewels that our gurus have left us everywhere. And I know it's easy to say that in Vrindavan. I know. We can go up on the roof and look out and there's Jamuna. Okay, quarantine. Poor us. But you have Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Jaiva Dharma, Thakurji. We have everything. We can't actually go out and see Jamunaji. But if we open Srimad Bhagavatam and read from our Srila Prabhupada, from our Guru Varg, then we will see Jamuna. Then we will see Vrindavan Dham. We are in the right place, all of us. And that association will bring us, or that enthusiasm will bring us the association that is right for us. So, thank you for your beautiful question and inspiration. Dandala.
There's more questions coming from what you said.
Someone said Toronto, Canada.
And Toronto, Canada is in the house.
Canada. She made so many important points. I'm just marinating in them right now. Seva is not about what I like. Seva is not a selfish thing. All of us who have somehow come to the path of bhakti must have some attraction in one way or another to any personality who has inspired us, like Srila Prabhupada or Srila Gurudev or Mahaprabhu or Krishna, Srila Govinda Maharaj. We can name so many. We can name so many. If we were given the opportunity to wash the clothes of our god brother or god sister, we might not be so excited. But if we were given the opportunity to wash the clothes of our Gurudev, because of the depth of that relationship, the love and affection, maybe we've never washed clothes before, but we might really do such a good job. We'd make sure that it was done nicely. We'd do it by hand. Then we'd dry it really nice. Then we'd iron it afterward, and we would fold it, even though we might not even know how to fold clothes properly, but we would make sure that it is folded perfectly.
Sudevi.
Because of relationship. And so if we think about what we're doing, whatever it is, and we, instead of thinking, poor me, or oh, I just have to do it for them, if we change our consciousness and think, no, I'm doing this for my Gurudev, with intent to please him, it will completely revolutionize what we're doing, why we're doing it. I might not like to do something, so how can I adjust my consciousness so that at least I can look at it in terms of a cry for mercy? I'm doing this activity. My Gurudev placed me in this situation, and now I'm stuck in it. We're trapped. We have the capacity, theoretically, to go and touch the Jamuna water and put it on our head. Except we're not allowed to step outside the front gates of Gopinath Bhavan. So we're trapped inside of Gopinath Bhavan.
Yay.
Which we're very happy for. The point is, most people, every day, we go to all of the different temples on Ekadashi where we do Vrindavan Parikrama, but since the lockdown, we're not able to go physically to Radharaman temple. So Radharaman came here. You notice that all the Radharaman Goswamis who might be watching, look, he came here. We're not able to go to Radha Shyam temple. We're not able to go to Radha Damodar temple, which is literally a 1.5 minute walk from where we are, but we're not allowed to go. And yet,
Ramananda just wanted to make the point that the first time he folded Gurudev's clothes, he did it perfectly.
Very good, Ramananda. Of course, because you want to please him, because you have affection for him. It's natural. The point I'm making is, if we are able to dovetail our consciousness into looking at it in terms of my selfish likes and dislikes, and turning it into what will be pleasing to my Gurudev, how can I apply this exact activity into something that is pleasing to my Gurudev and Krishna? This is the difference between mundane consciousness and Krishna consciousness. I can do something with consciousness of Krishna, or I can do something with consciousness of Maya. This is pretty much our choice. These days, we can practically see it. You can see in this situation how so many are taking toward trying to remember and encourage others to remember about Krishna. It's true, you can see, and you see hundreds of devotees doing online classes and thousands of devotees participating in those online classes. And then at the same time there's a barrage of all sorts of things coming also from other devotees, which is a very powerful endeavor to distract us from remembering Krishna, adding to the confusion of this material world. And it has nothing to do with bhakti. Absolutely nothing. It's also a trick of Maya to pull our attention away from Krishna. And one can make the excuses all they want. But to be obsessed and meditating and focusing on the demonic things of this world and what their plan is and what they're going to do with us. And let me, what is it? Propound. I like this word. Propound. It's pounding these concepts to all of those in your circle. This is propounding consciousness of demons. And you look in any of those propoundings, where is there any mention of Krishna? It's not. It's not about Krishna. It's another way of pulling our minds away from Krishna. And I'm saying it with very strong confidence. It is not going to help us at the time of death. Death may come at any moment. Padam padam yadhi padam natesham. There is danger at every step. That is the nature of this world. Bhavasagar, it is an ocean of material existence. It is like a well that is on fire. It is full of adhyatmic, adhibautic, adhidaivic miseries for trillions and trillions of births forever. And meditating on anything other than Krishna will not release us from this burning samsara. It will not. The only thing that frees us from it, sarva dharman parityajya. All kinds of activities, even dharmas, doing good in this world. Krishna says, abandon all of that and surrender exclusively unto me. And then he says, then I will free you from all of this. How to surrender exclusively unto him? First, taking shelter of Sri Guru. And what does Guru do with us? He engages our minds, our bodies, our senses, our words, our everything in serving Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. 24 hours a day, kalam nayed. 24 hours a day, as much as possible, bringing it to 24 hours a day, remembering Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. This is the essence of all advice. If I'm obsessing on demons and demonic things and rakshasas, and let's just say maybe a virus comes. It can be any virus, or anything, or cancer, or heart attack, or anything comes and takes my life while I'm obsessing on this. What will the result be? Destination unknown. That will be the result. In this connection, there was a conversation between Rajen Babu and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. No, it was Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose was the leader of the resistance party to the British. There was Mahatma Gandhi doing his non-violence movement, and then there was Subhash Chandra Bose, one of the primary return violence movements. So he was actually fighting with weapons. They had people hiding, like our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Kishori Goswami Maharaj. Before he joined the temple, he was also in the resistance party of Subhash Chandra Bose, fighting against the British, who had taken over India. So many years later, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, now it wasn't so many years later, Subhash Chandra Bose came to him and said, we need the young people with very powerful spirit, with good energy, to fight against the British. And yes, and you're taking all of the good, strong, educated young people, they're coming and joining your movement and giving up the fight to free India. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada asked him, do you believe in Bhagavatamrita? He said, of course, I'm Hindu. He said, do you agree with what Krishna says in Bhagavatamrita? That yang vapi smaram bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti konteya sadatad bhava bhavita. Do you agree that whatever state of consciousness you're in at the time of death, you will attain that state? He said, yes, of course. He said, so, when your people are fighting against the British, thinking about the British, hating the British, wanting to kill the British, what will happen to them at the time of death? They will join the anti-party.
Join the British Army.
They'll become British. And the British who are hating those who are fighting against them, who are meditating on them, thinking about them, absorbing and obsessing on them, they will become the Indians. And they will continue fighting back and forth, life after life. This is samsara. This is karma. He said, I have not come to liberate one person or just a few people. I have come to liberate the entire universe. How? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, wherever you go, whomever you meet, tell everyone about Krishna. This should be our concentration. Always remember Krishna and never forget him.
I was just wondering if there's not so much time left, if it would be alright if you could say a couple of words about Jesus Christ, because today is Easter, and Jesus is a very great Vaisnava and Jagat Guru.
Okay. So two things. One, today is also the day of Akinchana Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj,
Yay-ho!
disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, who was given Babaji Vesh. And also he was a very close friend of ours, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Very near and dear devotee.
I just said when they would see each other.
Yes, when they would see each other, they'd begin dancing and singing. And he's famous for his kirtan. He also was the person, I believe, who was called at the time that Srila Guru Govinda Maharaj entered into like a samadhi trance. He went into a deep state of, well, he just was not functioning on the external material level. Still breathing, but otherwise not. And they called him and he checked and detected and he said, oh, he's in bhav. So, Srila Kinchana Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj was very near and dear to Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and very dear to and very affectionately disposed toward the kirtan of Krishna. So on this day we honor him and offer our pranam to him. Also today is Easter. Easter has two different meanings. Generally, Easter is also considered like the day of springtime. It is when things are reborn, when things are taking... it was originally considered a pagan holiday, when something is manifesting again. It's a rebirth. But also, today, on the Christian calendar, designates the reappearance of Lord Jesus Christ after he had departed on the cross. For taking the sins of everyone, he had departed on the cross from this world. They placed his body inside a special cave for some time, quite some time.
3 days.
Was it 3 days? And after that, although everyone knew he had left, he remanifested again and gave darshan that he is still alive. So this is a very prominent teaching or experience within Christianity for billions of people who see this as a very auspicious event, and it gives confirmation to them of the transcendentalness of Jesus. Some people consider him to be God, some people consider him to be the Son of God. We understand that there's three different main aspects. When we say the, Guru is also the manifestation of God. So we understand that he is also Shakti Avesh Avatar, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, that he is a special empowered manifestation of the Lord for preaching God consciousness. And he was completely fearless in sharing that message, even to the point of having to suffer extremely. We have seen that also in the life of Haridas Thakur and Prahlad Maharaj, that no matter what, they did not give up glorifying the Lord. They could not. Like Haridas Thakur, he said, even if you cut my body into thousands of pieces, still I cannot give up the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So Jesus Jesus Cristo, also had this kind of mood, that no matter what, we should not give up our search. And you see throughout Christianity, unlike these days, when difficulty comes, everyone hides and starts thinking about other things. But so many who were his followers, for many years, they even gave up their lives but maintained their faith. This is called nishta, that no matter what, I will not give it up. And he showed this by his own example, remanifesting again for the benefit of the world, to show that that person who is godlike, who is the pure devotee, is not subject to the workings of the material world. We've also seen this in the life of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur was seen to be paralyzed, and so many were criticizing, oh look, this is the result of Narottam Das, who was Kayashta, right? Kayashta, by caste, giving initiation to Brahmanas. Oh, look at the result. Now he's paralyzed as a result of this sinful activity. So his disciples petitioned him, please, they're saying this about you, please adjust this lila of yours. He said, okay. So he gets up, he starts walking and everything. Everyone sees, oh my God, he's not bound like this. We're only seeing through our vision that he's like this, and then suddenly he gets up and starts walking around. And then it is said he entered into the Padma River and literally dissolved into the Padma River in the form of milk, right?
Yes, like a milky substance.
Like milk, just dissolved into the Padma River. And they realized he's no ordinary person. I'm drawing these comparisons to show that these transcendental personalities are not subject to the material world. They show a pastime for us, to teach us. And it looks like it might be a material thing. But if he's actually a transcendental personality, then there is no way that the material energy can touch him. We look at our Srila Prabhupada. In his life, it appears that he's going through so many trials and tribulations, and then he comes to sannyas, and then he preaches all over the world. But we understand that actually, he's always a transcendental, eternal associate of the Lord. Our Gurudev has very strongly propounded this. We understand that he's no ordinary personality. But to show us, to teach by his own example, he has given this. So, Jesus, he was no ordinary personality, no ordinary preacher. He was very powerful proponent of Sanatan Dharma and very uncompromising. Very uncompromising. So many times, it's easy for us to compromise, but his mood was strong. People think that he came to bring peace on earth and to, Easter is about bunnies and eggs and finding chocolate in the bushes. I don't know, Easter turned into an Easter egg hunt. I don't know how that happened. Easter is a very, very important holy day. It is the re-emergence of that divine personality, proving that he's not subject to the material workings of this world, that he is directly under the care and the control of Krishna. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishvasa goptritve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanye shadvira sharanagati. He was the embodiment of complete surrender to the Lord. He was showing it in his own life and encouraging everyone else to also have faith in the Lord, in God. The first commandment is you should love God with all of your heart. And all of the other commandments are only to support that. Yes. So I wanted to make the point that he was preaching very powerful Sanatan Dharma. He himself said, I have not come to bring peace on earth. That's interesting. Srila Gurudeva Maharaja said, why are you trying to make this place the perfect place? It's already perfect. Krishna made it this way. Why are you trying to change it and make it perfect? It's made to be this way to teach you a lesson. It's made this way. He did not make a mistake. So Jesus said, I have not come to bring peace on earth. Rather, I have come with a sword in hand. What sword? The sword of transcendental knowledge. For what purpose? to cut all of those knots which are binding us in this world. The knots in the heart. Vidite hridaya grantis. What are those knots? He said to separate all material relationships and bindings. Father from son, mother from daughter, brother from brother. Your material attachments. I have come with a sword in hand to separate these material attachments. Because if one is bound like that, then how can they give their love one pointed to God? One time he saw that there were people burying their dead. And he said, you should come with me now.
And he said, I want to follow you, but first I have to bury
Yes.
my father.
They were saying, I want to follow you, but first I have to bury my dead family member. He said, let the dead bury the dead. You should come with me now. Anyone who sees any relationship, any of these things, material activities, as more important than their relationship with me is not fit to be my disciple. That's what he said, right? Yes, you can find these quotes in the Bible. These are very powerful quotes which are showing that he is not an ordinary person. He's not just preaching about doing material, mundane things on this earth. He was trying to extract, by any way possible, maximum dedication, one-pointed, toward God. Toward serving God, toward loving God. So on this day, which is the anniversary of Easter, or his re-emergence, which also has significance for us. Sometimes people say, do you have any proof of reincarnation? We're like, yeah, Jesus. Jesus is our proof of reincarnation. They said he died on the cross and then he came back again. Showing that, yes, one can re-emerge. We also reincarnate in different forms. But the soul remains the same. So he said that we are all children of God. That we're all children of God. And that we should engage our energy in serving God. So on this day, the day of Easter, the day of his re-emergence, we can pray to him also. Because our Gaudiya Guru Varga, like Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he said he found so much solace in Christianity because of their mood of one-pointedness to one supreme form of God. Yes?
Sachinandan Prabhu is asking what is the meaning of Shravam Hi Kevalam.
So just before this question, I just want to say that Jesus, before becoming Jesucristo, he was Jesus of Nazareth. Meaning, he was known as Jesus, belonging to that place known as Nazareth. But after receiving what they call being born again, or in India, what is known as twice born, or born again, those who accept Brahman Diksha, they become known as twice born or Dvija Bandhu. Means you might be born one way, but only after receiving Diksha, then you're considered to be born again. I learned something very amazing, miraculous at that time when I received Diksha from Gurudev. He told me something, and it struck a chord inside my heart. He said, you are no longer of this world. Now, you are of Achyuta Gotra. And he said, you know who is Achyuta? Achyuta is Krishna, the infallible one. Now you are in Krishna's family. So I was changed from being of this world by Diksha, by my rebirth, to being of God. And this is essentially what baptism is, isn't it? Everyone who's a Christian gets baptized, and suddenly they are of God. Before they're living in this world, but at that time they're making a vow that I'm going to dedicate my life in the service of God. So Jesus was known as Jesus of Nazareth, and then he himself was baptized. That's why it's called baptism. And then after that he became known as the Anointed One, or Jesu Christo. Our Gurudev and many of our acharyas have explained that Christo, or the second name that anyone has, means what you belong to. Christo, Christus, Kritsna, Krishna. If you follow the etymology of that word, it means of God. So he's no longer of this world. They say he's the only Son of God, but he is a divine personality who has come to bring God consciousness in this world. Our Guru Varga have given so much appreciation to him, so much glorification of him, and so much honor to him. And we also should honor him accordingly. So, Jesus Christo ki jai. So, a question was asked by Sachinanda Prabhu, what is the meaning of Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam? The verse is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma svanishtika pungsam vishvakshena katasya notpaded yaniratim Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. All of the activities that one performs, all of the good deeds that one does in this world, or these worlds, and all of the different universes we've been in, and all of the different planets we've been in, and all of the different births we've been in, all of the punyas that one accumulates, if it does not somehow or other inspire within our hearts an attraction, rati, for hearing the glories of Vishvakshena, means the Supreme Lord Krishna. Vishvakshena katasuya. Kata means to hear the glories of his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. If any activity that we perform does not bring about an attraction for that, our Gurudev included chanting lakhs of Harinam and worshipping thousands of Shalagram Shilas. If we're doing even all of the activities, external activities in bhakti, and it is not bringing us to the point of having attraction to hearing about Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, then it is considered to be only hard, useless labor. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Only empty, useless activity. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam states. So it's a very powerful statement. And it might seem to be maybe offensive even to say the worshipping of Shalagram Shilas and chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam. But what is my intention in doing so? Krishna guarantees, as you approach me, I reciprocate accordingly. So why are we worshipping Shalagram Shila? For my own pleasure? Then Krishna will give you pleasure. In the same way, why do I approach Mahaprasad, which is non-different from Govinda? Mahaprasade Govinde. Why am I approaching Mahaprasad? Usually for my own pleasure. Do you want to eat bitter melon Mahaprasad, or do you want lasagna Mahaprasad? Do you want the Mahaprasad that Raghunath Das Goswami was taking that even the cows wouldn't take, or do you want cheesecake Mahaprasad? Right? Or do you want the Mahaprasad dal with a lot of black salt in it? Or do you want rasamalai? Am I taking it for my enjoyment? If my purpose of doing anything in bhakti is for my own enjoyment, because that activity or that thing in bhakti is considered non-different from Krishna, then what will be the result of it? The same as the result of Nam Aparad. If I'm approaching Harinam for Kanaka Kamani and Pratishta, okay, so I'm going to do big kirtan. So let me sell the kirtan so that, thousands of people will come and watch me, and I'm going to sell and make a lot of money so that I can. And what will be the result of that kirtan? Money. Kamani, sense gratification, pratishta, name, fame, position, adoration, all of these things, worship, followers. This is the result of my chanting of the holy name, because if I'm approaching it like that, then the holy name will bestow upon me my desire. That is the definition of Nam Aparad. And Srila Gurudeva Maharaj warns what happens as a result of that. as you are excessively enjoying the result of Namaparad, which is the increase of your Kanaka Kamini and Pratishtha, what will happen? Gradually you will give up that name. And that Kanaka Kamini and Pratishtha can drag you to hell, he says. So just chanting is not enough. Just eating Mahaprasad is not enough. Just worshipping the Shalagram Shilas is not enough. Just chanting lakhs and lakhs of Harinam is not enough. Just giving in charity and feeding cows and doing so many other things is not enough. Even distributing books and doing so many other things and going to kirtans is not enough. If I'm only doing it for my own pleasure and satisfaction, then that will be the result of my activities in bhakti. That's why it is imperative that we are always under the guidance of a pure devotee. Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, Ekaki amar nahi pae bal harinam sankirtane. On my own I have no strength, I cannot even approach Harinam. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya deho Krishna namadane. Please give me your mercy. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu diya. Just give me one drop of faith. One drop of shraddha. Shraddha shabde vishwas kohi sudrida nishchoy Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krita hoy. One drop of faith. Real faith, paramartic faith, transcendental faith. One drop of this. Please give me the wealth of Krishna's name. Being under the guidance of pure devotee. In sadhu sangha, then everything starts to take place properly on the path of bhakti. Because by their association, by their strong-handedness, by even their harsh language, they will drive out our enjoying self-serving tendency and turn it into the tendency to serve Krishna by their association. Yes?
So before we do the last Kirtan Mahamantra, I just want to ask you though, what is the natural result of chanting and taking Mahaprasadam and honoring and doing all of those things?
The warnings are given to us so that we don't waste time. It can take thousands of lifetimes if we're not approaching it properly with the right mood. It can take thousands of lifetimes. But if we approach bhakti and all of the activities of bhakti with the proper mood, this means by receiving the association of Vaishnavas with the proper mood, then in a single moment one can attain perfection. Srila Prabhupada was very clear on this point. So we shouldn't stop chanting because, oh well, it's not going to have any effect anyway. No. This is also not the right mood. Because the nature of every jiva is that we are Nitya Krishna Das. There is no other real important function for the jiva other than serving the Lord. Today, Sudevi was taking care of our beautiful Thakurji, Shri Radha Vinoda Hari, Sachinandan Gaura Hari. And it took a little bit extra amount of her time and energy today. More than usual. And we had this discussion. She was like, my God, it's taking so long. And I said, but that's the purpose, the goal of life. That's the perfection of life. That Krishna is demanding more attention from you. So if it takes longer, all the better. Krishna is demanding more attention. So then we can put more attention, more focus.
I wanted you to add that bliss is the natural side effect of.
The purpose of bhakti is not to enjoy. The purpose of bhakti is to give enjoyment to Krishna. To give happiness, bliss, pleasure to Krishna. That is the purpose of bhakti because that's the nature of all souls. But what is the proof that one is actually engaging in the process of bhakti? Bhakti pareshanubhavo virakti. What is the proof? Just like watering the root of the tree, automatically the entire tree is nourished and satisfied, or by taking food and putting it in your mouth, automatically the entire body is nourished and satisfied. What will happen as a result of actually engaging in bhakti, which means all of those functions or activities that we do in the name of bhakti to actually do them with devotion for the Lord for the purpose of pleasing Him. What is the result? Natural happiness, bliss, satisfaction, fulfillment will manifest in the heart. This is the result of actually doing any activity with devotion. And how will that devotion be awakened in our heart? Krishna Bhakti Janmamul Hoy Sadhu Sangha. In the association of Krishna's pure devotees who are always absorbed 24 hours a day in remembering Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, and serving Him. That is the meaning of sadhu. They're constantly absorbed or connected with the absolute truth, sat, 24 hours a day. In their association, Krishna Bhakti Janmamul. This is the root cause of Krishna Bhakti's making its appearance in our heart. So by their association, then all of these activities, instead of just being self-serving, will be dovetailed and surcharged with the tendency to serve Krishna. This is what is spoken in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the Bhakti Lata Bij, or the seed of Bhakti, the Bhakti Lata is the Bhakti Lata Bij, or the seed of Bhakti, the Bhakti Lata, is expressed as Krishna Seva Vasanam, or the awakening of the desire or the tendency to serve. That means to please for His happiness and His benefit, Krishna. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Which one? What's the Ban Maharaj tune?
You can play that.
Yeah. Okay, I've never sung it. Just be with me if I mess it up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Purushottam Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Radha Vino Bihari ji ki jai, Shri Radha Raman Sarkar ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shri Vrindavan Hari Lal ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you for joining us.
Ci vediamo domani.
Thank you for engaging us in Guru Seva and for coming every night and being with us and doing Kirtan. Thank you so much. Our sweet Dandavat Pranam to all of you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Amaya. Radhe Radhe. Hare